Okay, so Donald, you were telling us about an experience today at St. Paul's Chapel. So set it up for us again. Just tell us a little bit about St. Paul's and then what happened.
So this is another version of the grocery store story. We were back to St. Paul's Chapel to do the workshop. We've done it there 3 times, I guess. Certainly twice. This is at least the second time. And St. Paul's Chapel was the only pilgrimage site for people who wanted to come remember the 9/11 disaster. It is right next to the World Trade Center site, and during the tragic recovery efforts and the firemen and construction workers disassembling the disaster and looking for bodies, this was their place of respite. So it has something of a feel of being a shrine. It's also the oldest public building in New York City, the oldest church in New York City, George Washington's church. They've taken out all the pews, and so we were doing a workshop in a double circle in the middle of this colonial building. Wonderful acoustics, but in addition to wonderful acoustics, they get about 400 visitors an hour who are not expecting to find something going on in the church. They think it's going to be like a little museum or a big museum. And there we're doing our music workshop, and we're singing, and we're doing a worship service, and it was kind of like the grocery store. The people on the staff there describe this flow of visitors, this 400 visitors. It's literally a constant stream. They're delivered by the busload. 60, 80 people come in at a time. And they make their way around the edge of the church where the 9/11 displays, and church is happening, or a workshop is happening in the middle of the space. It's just fascinating watching us do a wonderful sung, improvised interpretation of the creation story in Genesis 1, watching different people get up to teach us a song, and the people who were watching it could see the song, the leader, the group listening, learning, getting it, picking it up like that, and then making it their own and rising up and just singing with real joy, passion, depth of feeling, freedom. And it was magnetic. The swirl was drawn in like with a magnetic force. People coming closer and closer to the edge, and various times people interrupting whatever they thought they were in New York for, whatever they thought they'd come to St. Paul's for, to just kind of slip in the edge, sit in the circle, or sing with us a little bit. And this really, really interesting thing, which was very, very like the grocery store, pushing ourselves past the comfortable level of being safely in church where everybody knew what they were coming for. It really was, one person said it felt like street theater. It felt like street preaching. It felt like we were doing a music workshop and a worship event in Grand Central Station. Not going unconscious of the people around us, but pushing past our own reticence, finding the resonances, the resilience, the resources right in the group itself, and also in a way that felt unself-conscious but generous, noticing the people on the edge, noticing when it was appropriate to actually reach out to them, noticing when it was appropriate to leave them their space. It was the kind of thing that people said afterwards felt like it should have been much more anxious than it was. As it happened, it was fun and creative, and as people would do all the way through the workshop, our participants were taking some fairly big risks, and then because of the setting, not just taking the risks with one another, but taking the risks in public, like singing in the grocery store.
Excellent. Okay, thank you.